Ever feel like some ads just get you? You know, like they speak directly to some hidden part of your brain.
Yeah, for sure.
We're going deep today into the psychology behind, well, genius marketing campaigns, ones that really work.
Okay.
And by the end, you'll learn why they stuck with you the way they did.
Awesome.
You with me?
Absolutely, yeah. This is fascinating stuff. It's like these campaigns tap into something deeper
Deeper than.
than just wanting to sell you something. They make this connection
Okay.
by speaking to our emotions, to our values. Even those unconscious biases we all have, it's crazy.
That's right. We've got 5 campaigns we'll unpack today, exploring the why as much as the what.
Love it.
Starting with Absolut Vodka, then we'll hit 7-Eleven, Guinness, the Fearless Girl statue, and then finish up with a wild story about KFC.
Sounds like a plan.
Each one showcases a different psychological, I don't know, like trick,
Yeah, yeah.
a way that smart marketers can actually shape how we see things
Oh, totally.
and what we do, sometimes without us even realizing it's happening.
It's wild, isn't it?
So let's kick things off with Absolutes. You might be thinking, what's so groundbreaking about selling vodka?
Mm-hmm.
But their unlabeling campaign was seriously clever.
I've heard of this.
They released bottles with absolutely no labels. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Just a simple message. Labels are for bottles, not for people.
That's pretty powerful when you think about it. What they're doing, it's like they're directly challenging us
Challenging us to.
to think about our own biases. You know, like how we all make snap judgments about people,
Basically.
points or labels.
Oh, yeah.
And Absol just flipped that like completely on its head.
Yeah.
They tapped into this, I guess you could say, universal human need to be accepted, to belong. And they did it while challenging stereotypes at the same time. It's brilliant.
And it made a difference, right? I mean, people were talking about diversity.
Yeah.
About inclusion. The hashtag unlabel movement, like, blew up online.
It definitely got people's attention.
Absolute saw a 7% sales increase. That's pretty good for a campaign that was less about pushing booze
Right.
and more about, well, sparking a conversation.
What I find really interesting is the bottle itself.
The bottle.
Yeah. It became a symbol. Think about it. It's this physical reminder of breaking down barriers
Barriers.
that we all put up, you know, between us, between each other.
Interesting. So speaking of creating experiences, let's talk about 7-Eleven's Bring Your Own Cup Day.
Oh, this one's fun.
This was just pure fun. I mean, who wouldn't want to fill a fish tank with Slurpee?
Right. Or, like, a bucket. Anything goes, basically.
I bet you've got some stories, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Tons. But beyond the sheer silliness of it all, there's some clever psychology going on here.
Okay, like what?
Have you ever heard of the IKEA effect?
I don't think so.
So the basic idea is we value things more
Okay.
when we've had a hand in making them.
Interesting.
So what 7-Eleven did is they cleverly gave their customers that control.
Control over.
The cup,
Right.
the experience. They turned a simple Slurpee purchase into a creative, like, DIY thing.
So it's not just a drink, it's an event.
That's it. And it plays on that sense of nostalgia, too.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, it takes you back to being a kid, you know? No rules, just pure sugary freedom.
Right, right.
And you could use whatever crazy container you could find. It's like marketing genius disguised as a giant Slurpee party.
Genius is right. The results were impressive. A 38% jump in Slurpee sales and tons of free publicity.
How come?
Because everyone was posting their crazy cup creations on social media. I mean, they turned their customers into marketers.
Smart move. Okay, now for something completely different. Guinness.
Yeah, let's talk Guinness.
Yeah.
They were known for that rich, dark stout, but they took a totally different route with their Made of More campaign. I wonder how they pulled that off.
It's all about storytelling and tapping into deep emotions.
Okay, this one ad from this campaign really sticks with me.
Which one?
It's just a single empty chair in a pub. So simple, yet so profound. What was Guinness going for there?
That empty chair, it represented the soldiers who couldn't come home, you see. The ones who made the ultimate sacrifice.
Oh, wow.
And it just instantly brings up these feelings, right?
What kind of feelings?
Empathy, gratitude, you know, a sense of shared history, a sense of loss.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a collective moment of silence almost.
Right.
A powerful tribute that speaks volumes.
Exactly.
Without saying a word. And the thing is, they didn't even mention their product.
Nope.
It was all about honoring those who served, connecting with their audience on a deeper, you know, emotional level.
And it hit home big time.
Yeah.
Guinness became the most talked about beer brand during that whole campaign.
Yeah.
And it won a bunch of awards for its storytelling.
It just proves that sometimes the most impactful messages, they're the ones that whisper, not shout.
Absolutely.
So how did a powerful symbol like the fearless girl on Wall Street grab so much attention?
Fearless girl, huh? Talk about visual impact. You've got this small bronze statue of a young girl just standing there, all defiant.
In front of?
The charging bull, you know, that iconic symbol of Wall Street power?
Oh, yeah, I know the one.
It's an image that, I don't know, it just grabs you, makes you think.
I remember when that statue first appeared.
Me too.
Everyone was talking about it.
Ah.
What a statement.
And the timing? Oh, the timing was brilliant.
What do you mean?
State Street Global Advisors, the company behind the whole thing.
Right.
They unveiled Fearless Girl on International Women's Day.
Ah, I see.
It was a bold statement about, you know, female leadership in the financial world, which, as we all know, is traditionally dominated by men.
Yeah, for sure.
And Fearless Girl, she just like instantly became this symbol, you know.
A symbol of?
Empowerment, a rallying cry for gender equality. It was amazing to see.
But did it help State Street too?
It did. It really did.
How so?
It sparked these conversations about the lack of women in leadership positions, mostly.
Yeah.
And it drew attention to State Street's Gender Diversity Fund. They cleverly aligned their brand with a powerful cultural movement.
Pretty smart. So what about the results? Does all that buzz actually translate into anything?
Oh, absolutely. They got like over $7 million in free PR.
No way.
Within days. Fearless Girl went viral. It was everywhere. News articles, social media feeds, you name it, became a global icon, basically.
Amazing.
Proving that when a brand takes a stand, aligns itself with these cultural values, they can have incredible impact.
It also shows the power of symbolism, doesn't it? Fearless girl. In her simple yet powerful pose, she became more than just advertising. It's a piece of art, a cultural touchstone.
Absolutely.
One that continues to inspire conversations.
Oh, okay.
But we've covered campaigns that tackled social issues.
Yeah.
Played on nostalgia, evoked powerful emotions.
Right.
But for our final duck dive in this section, we're switching gears
Oh,
to look at crisis management.
interesting.
How did KFC turn a major disaster into a PR win with their FCK Bucket?
No, that is a fantastic example of using humor.
Humor.
Yeah. To diffuse a situation that could have really hurt them.
I can imagine. So paint me a picture. What happened?
Okay, so picture this. KFC in the UK,
Right.
they run out of chicken,
Out of chicken.
their core product. A complete logistical nightmare.
You're telling me.
But instead of panicking, they did something completely unexpected.
What did they do?
They released this ad featuring an empty chicken bucket with the letters rearranged to spell, well, FCK.
I can't believe they actually did that.
It was bold, really bold, and it could have backfired easily.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
But the key was their tone. The ad was self-deprecating, apologetic, and like incredibly funny.
It was like they were saying, we messed up big time, and we know it's ridiculous.
That's it.
But we're owning it.
Exactly. And this, I guess you could call it humble humor tactic.
Yeah.
It can be incredibly effective.
Really?
Yeah. It disarms anger. It builds empathy. And it can even like strengthen brand loyalty.
Think about it. Instead of getting all defensive or trying to hide the problem, they owned it.
Right.
They acknowledged their mistake in a lighthearted way.
Exactly.
It showed they were human, that they could laugh at themselves,
Yep.
and that they genuinely cared about their customers' experience.
And it worked.
It did.
Yeah, wonders the ad went viral, generated tons of positive press and, social media buzz. KFC retained most of its customer base, and they even gained new fans. People who admired their honesty,
and
their humor.
And their humor,
That's
exactly.
a great lesson.
Yeah.
In turning a negative into a positive, sometimes the best way to win over your audience is to just admit your flaws and have a little fun with it. It's authentic, it's relatable, and let's face it, it's pretty darn effective. So we've seen a range of approaches here, each one demonstrating a different psychological principle at work.
Yeah, they really have.
But what's striking is how they all went beyond simply selling a product.
Right.
They tapped into our emotions, sparked conversations, and, left this lasting impact on our culture. That's what makes them truly genius marketing. It's not just about getting people to buy something. It's about, connecting with them on a deeper level, understanding their needs, their desires, and creating experiences that resonate long after the ad is over.
Okay, we're going to take a quick pause to gather our thoughts. When we come back, we'll dive into your comments and questions about these campaigns. Don't go anywhere.
Sounds good. It's been amazing to see all your thoughts and comments about these campaigns coming in on social media.
I know, right?
Some really insightful observations out there.
It's so cool to see how these campaigns still resonate with people.
Yeah,
Even after all this time,
absolutely.
they definitely tapped into something powerful.
It really goes to show that effective marketing isn't about chasing the latest trends or anything.
Right.
It's about understanding human psychology,
Mm,
those like timeless principles that make us tick.
absolutely.
Mm.
So let's dive into some of the comments and questions you've sent in. One listener asks, do you think these campaigns would work today? Has marketing changed that much? What do you think?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And while the ways we consume media are like constantly evolving,
Right.
the fundamental principles of psychology, those haven't changed.
Yeah.
We're still driven by emotions. We still crave connection.
Yeah.
And we're still influenced by our biases, whether we realize it or not.
So even in the age of TikTok and Instagram Reels,
Yeah.
those core ideas still apply.
Absolutely. In fact, understanding these principles is even more crucial today.
How come?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
With so much information and advertising coming at you from all directions,
Yeah. True.
the campaigns that, cut through the clutter are the ones that tap into those primal instincts, those desires.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Another listener brings up a really interesting point.
Oh.
They say, these campaigns are all about big brands with big budgets.
Okay.
Can smaller businesses really pull this kind of thing off?
That's a common misconception. Well, big budgets can definitely, amplify a campaign.
Sure.
They're not the, essential ingredient.
So what is?
Some of the most effective campaigns, they rely on creativity,
Okay.
authenticity, and a deep understanding of the target audience.
Okay, think about it. What really connects with you when you see an ad?
It's the idea, isn't it?
So it's more about the idea than the money.
Exactly. Remember the KFC example?
The FCK Bucket, yeah.
They turned a potential disaster into a win with a simple, humorous ad.
Right.
It wasn't about fancy production or anything.
Yeah.
It was about being honest, relatable, and poking fun at themselves.
Right. It's like that saying, the best marketing doesn't feel like marketing. It feels genuine, it feels human, like a friend telling you about something they love.
Now, another listener asks, what about the ethics of using psychology in marketing?
Ooh, good question.
Isn't it kind of manipulative?
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
Yeah.
Where do we draw the line between persuasion and manipulation?
It's a question that marketers grapple with all the time.
My bad.
Ultimately, it boils down to intention.
Intention.
Are you using psychology to genuinely connect with your audience and provide value?
Yeah.
Or are you using it to mislead or exploit them?
So it's all about being responsible and transparent, making sure you're not being,
No.
sneaky or deceptive.
Exactly. Ethical marketing uses psychology to understand what motivates people,
Okay.
to create compelling narratives, and to deliver messages that truly resonate.
Makes sense.
It's about building trust
Yeah.
and fostering these authentic relationships with your audience.
Okay, another question that keeps popping up
What is it?
is, what are some common psychological principles that marketers use? We've touched on a few, like nostalgia and humor, but what else is out there?
Oh, there are tons. One classic principle is social proof.
Social proof.
We tend to look to others for cues on how to behave, what to believe.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. You're more likely to try a new restaurant if it has tons of great online reviews,
Oh,
right?
sure.
Or maybe you're swayed by testimonials from people you trust.
So it's like that feeling of, well, if everyone else is doing it, it must be good.
Precisely.
Ah.
Another powerful principle is scarcity.
Scarcity.
We place a higher value on things that are perceived as rare or limited.
Right.
Think about limited edition products, flash sales.
Oh, yeah, those get me every time.
Or exclusive offers that make you feel special.
It creates a sense of urgency, right? Like, I better grab this now before it's gone.
Exactly. It taps into our fear of missing out.
You're missing out, yeah.
And then there's the principle of reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
When someone does something nice for us, we feel obligated to return the favor.
Like those free samples they give out at the grocery store.
Exactly.
They're not just being generous. They're hoping you'll feel compelled to buy the full-size product.
You got it. It's subtle but effective.
Yeah.
These are just a few examples, but as you can see, there's a whole world of psychology behind the marketing messages you encounter every day.
Wow, this is really eye-opening. Okay, one last question before we move on.
Okay.
A listener asks, what advice would you give to someone who wants to create a truly impactful marketing campaign,
Mm,
what are the key things to keep in mind?
that's a great question.
Yeah.
I would say, first and foremost, start with empathy.
Empathy.
Put yourself in your audience's shoes.
Oh, okay.
What are their needs, their desires, their pain points, what keeps them up at night?
So understand your audience before you try to sell them anything. Get to know them as people, not just potential customers.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then focus on crafting a story that resonates with them emotionally.
Okay.
Don't just list features and benefits,
Yeah.
Tap into those universal human experiences that connect us all.
Make it human, make it real, make it something people can connect with on a, gut level.
And finally, be authentic.
Authentic.
People can spot a fake from a mile away.
Totally.
Be true to your brand values
Mm-hmm.
and let your passion shine through.
I like that.
When you believe in what you're doing, it shows.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
So we've explored the tactics and the psychology behind these genius campaigns.
Right.
And we've heard some great questions and insights from you.
Mm.
But what does it all mean? How can we apply these insights to our own lives?
That's what we'll explore in our final segment.
Okay.
We'll delve into the bigger picture and discuss how understanding these marketing techniques can empower you as a consumer
Okay.
and even help you in your own creative endeavors.
So stick with us.
We'll be right back.
We're back for the final part of our deep dive into the psychology behind these genius marketing campaigns.
It's been pretty eye-opening, right?
I don't know about you, but I'm starting to look at ads in a whole new light now.
I get that. It really makes you think. We've seen how some of the most successful campaigns use those, powerful psychological principles.
Things like nostalgia, humor, social proof, scarcity.
Right. All to make a
Yeah.
real impact.
And we talked about how these campaigns did more than just, sell products. They sparked conversations, challenged stereotypes, even became part of our culture.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it. But here's the thing. These campaigns, they weren't just random bursts of creativity or anything like that.
What do you mean?
They were carefully planned, strategic.
Oh, okay.
They had this deep understanding of, human behavior.
So how can we, as consumers, actually use this knowledge?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
It feels like we're just bombarded with marketing messages everywhere we turn.
That's right. And that's exactly why understanding the psychology behind those messages is so important.
It's like, what, having a secret decoder ring?
Yeah, kind of. Once you understand the tactics being used, you can make more informed choices.
Choices about
The brands you support, the messages you let into your life.
So it's about becoming more, aware, discerning.
Exactly. Think back to those campaigns we discussed. They weren't just selling vodka. They were tapping into that universal desire for, acceptance.
Yeah.
And challenging stereotypes.
Right.
Or 7-Eleven, remember. They took something as simple as buying a Slurpee and turned it into this fun, nostalgic experience.
And Guinness. They really got me with that one.
Honoring those who served, evoking those emotions, gratitude and pride.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff.
Each of those campaigns, they connected with people on this deeper level. It wasn't just about the product. It was about something more.
Something more meaningful. Exactly.
And that's why those campaigns were so effective, so memorable. They became part of our, cultural conversation.
Absolutely.
So next time we see a clever ad or a catchy slogan, what should we be asking ourselves?
Okay, here's a challenge for you.
All right, I'm listening.
Don't just passively consume those marketing messages, okay? Take a moment. Analyze them.
Yeah.
Ask yourself a few questions like, what emotions are they trying to get out of me? What psychological principles are they using here? And most importantly, does this message actually, resonate with me? And why or why not?
It's about taking control of our own responses.
Exactly. By engaging with marketing on a more, I guess you could say, conscious level, we become more aware consumers.
We can appreciate the strategy and the creativity, but also recognize when, we're being manipulated.
That's it. Exactly.
So we've come to the end of our deep dive. What's the key takeaway here? What do you hope people will walk away with?
I'd say the biggest lesson is this. Great marketing, it's about connection, not coercion.
Interesting.
It's about understanding your audience, their needs, their desires, and then crafting a message that truly resonates on an emotional level. And if you can do that, you're not just selling a product, you're creating an experience.
That's a great way to put it. It's about building relationships.
Yeah.
Not just making a quick sale.
Exactly. And that applies whether you're a consumer or a creator,
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this fascinating deep dive. Until next time, stay curious, keep questioning, and remember, those aha moments, they're everywhere if you know where to look.